YouTube? It's Dimitri. Today I'm going to review the Nike React Infinity Run Flyknits. These are, I guess, called the Red Lips Pack. So it's the red shoe. It's not the typical white one that you're seeing everybody reviewing. But I'm going to review these. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to explain why. Okay, so I bought these shoes with my own hard-earned cash here. Okay, I'm not sponsored by Nike, which you'll clearly see in a second. These shoes were not sent to me for free. I'm not a big YouTube channel. I contacted Nike and they didn't respond to me because I'm an average Joe, and that's completely fine. So let's dive into the pros on this shoes, and then I'm going to talk about a lot of the cons and why I hate these shoes and why I'm sending these shoes back. Okay, so the shoe itself, I did a really long run for me, so I'm an average Joe. I'm not like a fancy runner, professional runner, or anything like that. I did an 8-mile run in these though, and the first 3 miles-ish were terribly painful, and the last 5 miles were amazing. They were a dream. So I'm running, I'll show you in a second my other shoes I use for running. I've been running, my shins are a little sore, my calves are a little sore. I wanted something that's a little bit more squishy on the bottom, and so I wanted a better shoe. I looked at Hoke. I think I'm gonna try them now, but I wanted these because they had the foam. The long distance running though, the foam set in, it was amazing. It felt great on my feet. It does really cushion the run. It made me feel better, and it was a lot easier to run 8 miles, which is a longer run for me. And then I also ran these in another 5K run on my treadmill as well, just to see how they performed, trying to give them a second chance, trying to see what happens here. But in general, I didn't have a good experience with them. I'm gonna explain why. So the shoe itself in the middle is super, super narrow. So when I put my foot into the shoe, it's super tight and it's not comfortable at all. I was like, you know what? I'm not a professional runner. Maybe these are amazing and great. And of course, these are like the preventative injury shoe. Maybe it's new technology. It does have a little higher arch. Maybe that's it. And then I ran in them. And for the first 3 miles, as I mentioned, my foot was going to sleep. My feet were numb. I can't feel part of my toes. And then you get to the point where I don't know if it's like your foot relaxes or your body essentially stops sending you a signal because your feet hurt so bad. But then the last run, as I mentioned, was great, but it's way too tight in the middle, okay? The other thing I would note here is the laces and some of the fit in general. The shoe fits quite loose in the back and quite loose in the front. So you have a lot of space in the heel and in the toes, and I was not happy when I first put them on because this is quite roomy around my ankle. The laces as well don't really lace up to the point where it like pushes your foot back. So I do like a runner's knot, I guess is what you call it, or a runner's lace, where you put the extra loop and then you cross them. But that pulls my foot back. I was concerned because this was so loose. It was actually comfortable. I liked the feeling of it. I didn't need to like overly cinch my foot into the shoe. And I don't know if that's because the middle's so tight that my foot's like glued into the shoe itself, and so my heel's not rising, but I liked the feel of the back of it. The toes again had plenty of room, but it's way too narrow in the middle and it's not very functional. So now to address the criticism, because I know people are gonna, be on their keyboards typing away, Dimitri, these are Nikes, of course they're narrow. Well, my favorite running shoe, which I've been running in, are my Pegasus 36s. These are also Nike shoes, and these shoes fit amazing. So the Flyknits, these React ones, they're injury preventative and all that, and you spend a ton of money on these, which I guess they're average for a running shoe for most people, but the shoe's so narrow in the middle, it just doesn't fit. My generic Pegasus 36s here, I love them. There's not a lot of cushion. They're fairly lightweight. I love running in these, but I'm looking for a cushioned shoe. These are supposed to be like my rough days, my legs are sore, looking for some extra cushion. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. They don't fit well. In general, I am a huge Nike fan though, so I own a ton of pair of Nikes, and I've had a weird, branding obsession as a child where I've essentially only worn Nikes over the years. So now people are gonna ask, right, Dimitri, why did you not go and try them on? Well, we're in quarantine, right? So I don't have the opportunity to run down to the store and try the shoes on. I leaned towards Nike because I already wear Nike and I like Nike. So I figured if I could just find a more cushiony shoe from Nike that would be a better fit. This is not the case. I contacted Nike, maybe looking for a recommendation. I've watched all the videos online from other people that recommend shoes, but I'm still like, I really want to run in the Nike. But now that I'm having this issue with the shoe, I've contacted Nike to kind of get a feeling of like, do I need to put more miles in on these? Or is there a recommendation of a different shoe because you guys don't clearly state which shoe is extra narrow and just standard? I don't know. So if you have really, really narrow feet, and I don't know how you would judge that because my other Nikes fit fine, but if you have really narrow feet and you want to give them a shot, I do really like the cushion. That's definitely a pro. But from my perspective of someone who's always worn Nike, these are just way too narrow and not really a realistic shoe for me to run in. So it comes down to a personal fit issue, not a quality. Again, the build quality is perfect. It has good fit in the heel, good fit in the toes, right? Good shoe for most people, I guess. But from a lot of the reviews online, I'm guessing people are being paid to say it's an amazing shoe and it's life-changing, because at the end of the day, it's not that great and wonderful. Yes, it has good foam, but the fit is really wonky, and you have to spend a lot of time searching online to find other reviews where people talk about having issues with the fit. So anyways, that's just my review. Take it or leave it, buy it or not, it's up to you. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, until next time.